Throughout history, boundaries have often limited our potential, constraining our ability to realize new solutions. The age-old challenges of boundaries demand we call forth a new way to bring groups together, and yes, a new way for you to practice leadership. We collaborate because the challenges we face are interdependent. They can only be solved by working together. What if you and leaders throughout the world learned how to bridge boundaries between groups to turn today's borders into tomorrow's frontiers? The boundaries we encounter in our work and our lives often make us feel like it's us versus them. Look around you, and you will see groups divided by levels of authority, experience and expertise, competing interests, wide-ranging diversity and geographic distance. Boundaries create borders that divide groups, even as you strive to bring them together. The result is limiting possibilities, conflict and counterproductive outcomes. When this happens, the creation of shared direction, alignment and commitment becomes further and further out of reach. Based on a decade of Center for Creative Leadership research around the world, we have developed a model of boundary-spanning leadership, enabling you and your organization to think and act beyond yesterday's boundaries. Out of 3 overarching strategies come 6 boundary-spanning practices for building collaboration at the nexus where groups collide, intersect and link. The first strategy, managing boundaries, taps into the power of differentiation. Boundaries must be clearly visible before they can be spanned, first through the practice of buffering and then reflecting. To manage boundaries is to define and understand the dividing lines that differentiate groups. Only then can a bridge be built that is well anchored on both sides. The second strategy, forging common ground, taps into the power of integration. Common ground represents what is universal, shared, and brings us together. This occurs through the practice of connecting, followed by mobilizing. To forge common ground is to suspend and reframe boundaries, enabling groups to work toward a larger shared purpose. In the third and final strategy, discovering new frontiers, the powerful forces of differentiation and integration are combined in new ways. This occurs through the practice of weaving and ultimately through the practice of transforming. To discover new frontiers is to interlace and cross-cut boundaries. It is here where the most advanced and innovative opportunities await. At the nexus where groups collide, intersect and link, we've discovered new frontiers in physics, science, business, engineering, medicine, the arts and culture. The pace of societal change and progress is breathtaking. Perhaps now we stand at the precipice of the last great final frontier, our relationships with one another. In a world that spans boundaries, so too must leadership. Contact the Center for Creative Leadership to learn more about how boundary-spanning leadership can expand you and your organization's horizons and create new frontiers.